Hey, what's up, guys? Pat here, and we are back from the ARG Invitational in Philadelphia, and we finally did it. We finally put one on the board. We got third at the end here, got this nice little trophy, so I finally get to back up some of my theories with some actual results. I didn't get the big W, but still got it. They gave me this really cool mat also, but yeah, right here you can see Final Four Invitational. So really happy about that. That said, I'm probably still going to use the Good Luck Nero Claudius mat, Umu, for life. So, yeah. Before I get into the deck profile, I really quick just want to give some shout outs. First off, congratulations to Danny Hype and Eric for their amazing performances this weekend. Eric Hill played fantastic. I know he's not happy they didn't get the W, but I'm pretty sure he's going to get it eventually. Danny Hype, excellent games with you, even though I knew I misplayed a little bit. I look forward to playing you again in the future. It was a lot of fun. They were the most pleasant games I played all weekend, I feel like. Big shout outs to Jordan Markle, Sawyer, Nick Brady, and Jimmy for letting me last minute crash in their hotel room. I thought it was the Philadelphia Expo Center, which is 20 minutes from me. It was in the greater Philadelphia Expo Center, which is about 50 minutes from me. So I just didn't feel like making that morning commute with all the traffic. So I just asked Jordan if there's any chance I could just come crash on the floor. They let me come slide in. It was great. Sawyer lent me the cards. Jordan was nothing but hospitable. Nick Brady gave me some excellent last-minute training against the Harudagar matchup. So, really awesome. Big thanks to those guys. Congratulations to those guys again on their tops as well. Shout outs to Kareem and Travis Evans. Kareem was playing, in my opinion, the best deck in the tournament. He's the guy that beat me with that same deck in the finals of New Jersey States a couple weeks back, and Travis is the engineer of the deck. The two of them are going to obviously do, I think, great things. I wanted to feature their deck on this channel, but I believe Trey actually got to them first, so you'll be able to see it in Trey Faircloth's channel, but at some point Kareem will definitely be featured on this channel. Those guys are going to, like I said, do big things, and I really look forward to seeing what they do next. The test group. So Matt Coombs, Richard Zapp, Chris Welch, you guys are amazing in helping me test, spitball, theorycraft, all that stuff. Your advice and your input is incredibly valued, obviously. I don't think I could have done any of this without you. Hopefully, you guys mean a lot to me, and this top is as much as for you guys it is for me, because it's a reflection that our ideas work. So again, thank you guys so much for that. Also, shout outs to Nick Botchis, Jordan Silver, and Ryan Trzecki, just for, again, helping me spitball, theorycraft, and then obviously, Jordan and Ryan are from my locals. Jordan's absolutely amazing. The kid's a genius. He literally sleeved up the Apes and Taxes deck 20 minutes before the event, never played a game with it, and got 33rd. He was so close. He punted one game, and that's all it took, but he killed so many good people early on. He 2-0'd Chris Sock, who's obviously an amazingly good player at this game. So, I look forward to seeing what he does in the future. And then Ryan, obviously, is a very talented player from my local as well. And a lot of his ideas and crazy off-the-wall stuff is what inspires me to play certain things, such as Kefla. And that's really what where it started and started to take over everything. So I'm really looking forward to see what he plays next, because, like I said, he inspires me, and hopefully I inspire him as well. Good games to some of my opponents as well I played over the weekend. Jamal, Antonio, Jerome, Jesse, and Trey. I feel like any of you guys could easily have been sitting here instead of, of where at me in third place. You guys played absolutely excellently. All those games were razor thin down to the wire. Jim for running such an amazing event. ARG so far has done nothing but amazing events as far as I can tell, and the ones I've attended to I've enjoyed quite a bit. And then finally, my best friend Andrew Cardis for believing in me and, giving me the pep talk the night before I topped, to just kind of give me the motivation, just get there. And I feel like I did. Even though, like I said, I misplayed a little bit against Danny, I still think I played like a champ. So, that out of the way, let's get into the deck profile. I'll explain my card choices as well as the matchups I played and what I think about them. So first up, 3 Intensifying Power Trunks. This is a self-awakening card, as well as a way to quickly get into the chain attack Zeno if you somehow have a Senzu Bean in your opening hand. So you can kind of, if you're going second, you can kind of cheese them and immediately go into chain Zeno before they hit you. They hit you with the first seeing hit and kind of take that advantage away from them. I only did that once throughout the whole weekend. Danny Hype actually did it to me to clutch out a game early on. So yeah, it's a really potent combo. That said, card's really bad after you approach Awaken, and it's really bad when you get Chain Zenoed because it's basically a dud. So we'd only want 3 to be able to see it to self-awaken or get that cheap combo, but after that you want it gone. Jump over the Gohans to go to the Digging Deeps real fast. 5 from my calculations was usually enough self-awakening cards that you would almost always see it. You know, one of the 5 cards in the opener to awaken. Digging Deep, like Intensifying Power Trunks, loses a lot of staying power the later you go into the game, and he doesn't have the ability to evolve like Intensifying Power Trunks does, so that's why he's at 2. Only once, I believe, against Trey all weekend could I not awaken, so like I said, 5 is the perfect number. Burst Attack Gohan, this is just one of the best cards you can possibly be playing to aggress early in certain matchups, and it helps refill your hand when both players are at a stalled board state to put you over the top, and it is the 3rd best card you can play after being Chain Zenoed in the game, so that's why he's in here. Chain Attack Trunks, it literally plays Chain Zeno, which is the best thing you could be playing in this format. Enough said. Foreseeing Hit, best battle card in the game that is not a super combo. I don't think I have to explain it to you. If you are not playing this card, like, I don't know what to tell you. The card's just broken. It allows you to get invaluable insight and piece together wins out of nowhere because you just know, hey, my opponent literally can't do X, so you just put them in the worst possible position at all times. Games were literally decided all weekend over who hit more hits and when. Pride and Justice Topo. Originally this was at 3. Nick Brady convinced me to take it to 4 because I was unsure between 3 Coercion and 4 Topos. 4 Topos get you there. It's another body. It hits harder. Yes, it's more expensive, but it's more useful in more situations, so that's why you should play 4. Terror Assault Frost. This is my tech choice that eventually, you know, I guess made its way through the rounds through the grapevine, because I saw actually quite a number of people on this. I thought it was basically only me and Matt and maybe Richard that were onto this tech, but apparently a lot of people were. This is the answer main board to awe-inspiring Vegeta, which I expected to see more play than it actually did. So yeah, the card's just incredible there. It's also great in the mirror because it sidesteps a lot of crap like Topo and, you know, super combos and protecting Gohans and keeping them there. You know, it's basically a good way to break the board or break the momentum of your opponent. Like if they have a Sand Onslaught Kefla and they're low on cards and you're low on cards, the Frost will help break their momentum, and there's nothing they can do to stop it, even if they like Mafuba it or something. So the card is just there to kind of break momentum, like I said, and then also get through the Bergamo and Vegeta decks. Unbreakable Super Saiyan Son Gohan. Super combos 5-3-8. Don't have to say much. Sand Onslaught Kefla. If I could play 4, I would. Because seeing this card, the more you see it, it's amazing. This is the second best card you can play off of Chain Attack Zeno. I feel in some cases it might actually be the first. It's between Hit and Kefla. The reason why Kefla's not at 4 in the list is because against the blue red Hirudegarn decks and then the blue yellow so like Stormless, like the Apes, the decks with Swap, Bardock, Goten, all those decks are so fast you will never get to Kefla. So the card at 4 can clog your hand to the point where it's like unwinnable. I honestly wish I had stuck with my original plan to put the 4th Kefla in the board, but as much as Nick Brady's suggestion to put in the 4th Topo was, I wish I had kept the 4th Kefla in, because a lot of games in the mirror was decided by who had Kefla. Kefla is arguably one of the best battle cards in the game. I think she's probably top 3 right now. The card just is insane. It gives you so much advantage against you know, when it's basically a stalled game. Boost Attack Piccolo, super combo. So moving on, Raging Spirit Son Gohan. You know, it's just combo Han. It's great with Flute. It's also just good at adding pressure to the board and defending your life total. It's just basically a block with upside. Zeno, it's this other half of Chain Attack Zeno. Scientist Fu, best overwhelm card in the entire game. Honestly, Fu is the best overwhelm card in the game. Doesn't matter which version, Fu is the best. Your deck should play Fu, period. Legendary Flute at 2. I know that's going to drive people insane, but I would argue that Flute might be the worst card in my entire deck. Flute is really good in turns 1, 2, and 3 when you can bounce things like Intensifying, which I've already dropped the count on it, and Raging Spirit Sun Gohan. The card is absolutely awful to see in your hand when you get Chain Attack Zenode. It's also absolutely terrible to draw off your life. So at 2 copies, you will see it maybe once in a while. Like either at the very beginning of the game, Pulse Mulligan, or like crazy late in the game to recycle a Raging Spirit Sun Gohan. We're not an aggro deck that's just trying to keep, generating advantage on 1 or 2 mana, so we don't really need Flute. Flute is most of the time used, like I said, to bounce a Raging Spirit Sun Gohan crazy late in the game, or to bounce something like an Android 16 against a blue-green player. I sided this card out most of the time. I encourage you, for those of you playing these like mid-range style SS3 decks, to try it too. I think that's pretty much the right number. 4 beans. Defend your life total. Extends plays. Simple. Weesis Coercion. Negates. If I could play 4, I would, but as you can see, the list is very tight as it is, and I wanted to get a lot of tech choices in. Sideboard cards. 2 Bodyguard Legic. Literally for the blue red Hirudegarn and the blue yellow aggro decks, Kefla's useless, so is Frost. So you can easily see you just cut these 5 cards, you put in the 2 Legics, and then the 2 Sidras, which I will get to in a little bit. 1 Terror Assault Frost. If you are playing against somebody who is playing the blue-green Vegito deck, you bring in the 3rd copy so that you can see it more to break their board. It's that simple. General Evolve Hyper Meta Rildo. In case Veggies, you run into Veggies, I mean, some people play it sometimes, but on top of that, against those same aggro and go wide strategies, if I feel like they're not going fast enough, I can drop Rildo and kind of just board clear. It's just, the card is just incredibly powerful. It's situational, but there are a lot of times where you can drop Rildo, especially in tandem with Topo, and literally kill like 5 or 6 battle cards effortlessly with just Rildo. Reducing all of your opponent's Raging Spirit Sun Gohans to 5k, all their burst attacks to 5k, killing all of their free blockers, and setting their hits to 10k makes this Pride and Justice Topo an absolute monster, and demands serious resources from your opponent to not lose everything they have. And Rildo himself, assuming he doesn't get Crusher Ball, which isn't going to happen because everyone's playing blue-red, is going to basically kill everything for free. He also makes it so that Keflas become 15k, which means you can pressure them very easily with your burst attacks, your digging deeps, and your Gokus. And then obviously Raging Spirits. Card is incredibly underrated. I think it is one of the best red battle cards in the game. A lot of people disagreed with me. Even some of the people that I was testing with, they didn't think it was that good. But he won me a match this weekend when I needed it. So the general does this. He does work, man. He's amazing. 2 Mifubas. Honestly, I wish these were in my main over the flutes. Card is just a momentum breaker like Frost. Anybody who watched the top 4 match between me and, or I should say the 3rd and 4th constellation match between me and Trey knows the game was decided by Mifubas. Indiscriminate Obliteration Sidra. This card is insane. I kind of wish I mainboarded this over the Intensifying Power Trunks. It is a 3-drop blocker, and it's 1 blue, so you can always play it no matter what you flip off your life. You take a life, you get to kill something. It's got blocker. Absolutely incredible at breaking the momentum of the Hirudegarn and the blue-yellow decks. It's why I won a lot of those games, because he allowed me to stabilize, because they don't play hard removal outside of Banisher, but most of them forego Banisher for Scientist for the draw to. So he basically is the oh crap button, don't kill me, as well as being like, hey, I'm going to come down and I'm going to kill your 8 Bardock, or hey, I'm going to come down and kill your Digging Deep or whatever have you. Hey, I'm going to come down and kill your Intensifying Power, and just free up stuff on the board while still going +0. He's just great. I feel like I was the only person that played him in the entire tournament, and he won me more matches than any single card in this entire 65 except for Foreseeing Hit. The card is amazing, and you should probably pick up some now if you don't, because I'm pretty sure this card's going to go up, because I think it's one of the best cards in the entire Ultimate box. Dragon Fist SS3 really only helped me in the top 32 match against the blue-green SS3 decks, as well as I played one also in Swiss. The card is just really good for just, you know, breaking their lock board states. It's honestly the second worst card in my sideboard. Probably don't think I would sideboard it again. I don't think you really need it. It's kind of redundant with Chain Attack Zeno, but it is still a very solid card nonetheless. 2 Mass Sand, the Mysterious Warrior. This was a judgment call between this and Banisher Fu. I felt that because I was afraid to play against an aggro deck that went wide a lot, I would pick up more value with Mass Sand. And honestly, I think I only sided him in one time against Jamal in the entire tournament, and I only sided 1 copy, and that was it. And like, he did his job, but like, I could have won the game without it. So this is definitely the worst card that was in my sideboard. I wished it was Banisher every time. So yeah, just don't play it. Fu Shrouded in Mystery. This is probably the second worst card in my sideboard. I just really like the card. You guys know it. I saw a lot of people play it in their sideboard. Card was never relevant because I always felt that in the SS3 matchups, I could win without him. Because I felt like I had played against the mirror enough that I knew that the card was never going to threaten me, or I was never going to be in a serious position where I was going to die from the card. So I feel like if you get in that position, you messed up somewhere along the line, and just, I guess, try and reevaluate what happened. But for the most part, I just don't think he's necessary. If Vegito ends up seeing more play, he's even worse because you can't go face with him. Even if you blank all their cards, Vegito is still active, so you still got to kill their stuff. So yeah, that's the deck. Couple of things I learned about the matchups in general. Blue red SS3. You're basically, whoever goes first and hits hit is gonna basically dictate the entire game. If you're in going second, you want to be trying to go for this intensifying power chain attack effect to just random out their hand and hope that, you know, maybe, just maybe, you can stop them from hitting hit before you hit them with hit. So that's basically like how that match is dictated. And then obviously, like, you have cards like Frost to break it. Blue yellow Storm, you side in all of your low drops. What you want to do against blue yellow Storm is you want to go first usually, and you don't want to activate SS3. A lot of my opponents playing it with me against me with Storm didn't understand it, but I wanted to get the extra 2 life over the course of the game, and by making my curve post board much smaller, you know, keeping everything 3 or less except for hit because he's my closer, you know, I can stabilize the game much easier because my cards are cheaper, so I don't really need the extra energy. I value the life in the cards a lot more. I encourage you guys to do the same. And finally, for those of you guys who are wondering about the blue-red Hirudegarn deck, obviously this list is tweaked a little bit better than some of the Gen Con lists I see to deal with that. But on top of it, you want to go second in that matchup 100%. So if you're losing in that matchup and you're getting frustrated, you want to go second, because by going second, you are drawing the extra card, obviously. And then, like we talked about before, you want to not charge. So by not charging, you're plus 2ing, so you're getting 2 extra life to the game. So you're basically already plus 3 right now. You also deny Hirudegarn, the leader, 1 extra attack, which if they have Minosha in their hand, that is another 3 cards. So you are potentially, by going second and not activating Super Saiyan 3 leader against blue-red Hirudegarn aggro, you are potentially going plus 5 to plus 6. So there you go. There are some of the things I learned from this weekend, some of the stuff that I can impart to you guys. Hopefully it helps you guys in your tournaments and your locals. So yeah, with that, I'm pretty much just going to wrap up the video. Still really happy that I ended up getting this at the end of the day. Like I said, we didn't bring it all the way home, but for the most part, getting a trophy, a little souvenir or something for the mantle, really happy about this one. Alright guys, that's been the deck I played for ARG's Invitational. I'll see you guys in the next video.